Hello and welcome yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to another GGvision Stock of 2 Colosseum with me, Sebastian Sjöberg, and our Pro Gamer Gladiator of the Week, Mondragon, here facing none other than mouzMana, Polish Powertoss player who won the silver medal at DreamHack Winter 2010. I was happy enough to be there live, seeing Day 9 and the Apollo cast that epic clash. Here he's fighting Mondragon on Xel'Naga Caverns in what is actually an older replay. That is why there are no name tags up here, or rather why I put my own there, because this game, yes, it is a bit old, but it is also very, very good. Mondragon, it's hard to find really good games of him. He does not release so many replays. He's only just now begun doing that. But this game, I decided after much deliberation and much recommendations, it was well worth casting. And if you haven't seen it, and likely you haven't, you're in for a definite treat when it comes to CVP. Here we see the scouting probe now finding out what Mondragon is up to, and maybe he will do some early quick shenanigans, harassment of some sort. And in this game you will most likely see some things that are currently not in the game. Here we see a quick gas going down, and since there's a drone out here for Mondragon, and he just might be doing a bit of a gas steal. I have seen that in several games of his. It's a thing he likes. Now the gateway going down for Mana. Again, playing for mousesports together with greats like mouzHasu, who was our first Gladiator of the Week, and Thorsane, and many other Gosus out there. And it seems like he's now placing his second pylon down here, doing it for scouting purposes. And it seems like Mondragon is intent on wreaking first blood, almost losing his first scouting drone, who's now escaping, not escaping at all actually. Seems like he's coming back for another round, and indeed it looks like no, not a gas steal at all. Or maybe he's deliberating, he's trying to make my job difficult. Here we go, indeed it is a gas steal. That is quite nasty when that happens to you, I can assure you. Then again, I'm a Zerg player, so I like to do that to others. Here we see spawning pool now completing, and just as he's completed that, he's got 100 gas that he's chosen not to use on metabolic boost, so pardon me that. And here we see now Mana scouting that there's no expansion going down, and he might be able to prevent that should that happen with that probe for some time. We've yet seen any Ling production. Here is the metabolic boost, somewhat late. And first queen now going down for Mondragon. This extract has been cancelled and rebuilt so that he can make maximum effect out of it. He will be able to delay the gas intake of the Powertoss quite a bit, and that of course delays sentries and further tech very nicely. And here we see again him cancelling and rebuilding the extractor for a second time. That might be up for at least another minute. And here we see now the fast expansion going down, well, semi-fast at least, for Mondragon. And gearing up from here, he's built no further gas, so I should think that an economy build is in the works for him. We see now 22 harvesters for Mana and only 18 drones for Mondragon. And again, the gas steal is being replenished. I don't know for how much longer he can keep this up, but there we go. Anyway, nice try. Here now 2 Zerglings getting into the fray and splitting them up, only to lose one instantly, and continuing to do these shenanigans. Now it seems like Mana almost put that down preemptively, because you never know when another drone might get in there. Adding on 2 more gateways, so 3 gateway. We'll see if we can add a 4th one, if we could do an expansion or go straight to robotic facility from here. More Zerglings out from Mondragon. 12 at the moment, and interestingly what we call a macro hatch here in the main. As you can see, he's harvesting no gas from anywhere, it's just droning up. 17 at the moment, so he's still behind Mana, but here he will be able to produce a lot of low tier units fast. And these Zerglings, let's see what kind of havoc they can bring. He will definitely be able to prevent this probe from putting down an expansion, and that's of course exactly what he wants. He wants to make up for whatever he's lost in income, and try to get ahead economy-wise. I'm sure he will spread like the bubonic plague all over the minimap with his expansions very shortly, and he's picking up, then again, harvesting no gas as of yet. So these forces will be able to push away the Zerglings, but they are delaying the progression of the Powertoss player, who's now going for hallucination. Interestingly, this is something you very rarely see, but it's always epic when it happens. Mondragon trying to snipe that probe. He wants to delay this expansion so badly, and this forces Mana actually to place a forge first. doing what is a forged, not so fast expansion, and Mondragon must be happy with this development. Now you see he is reinforcing, and we'll be able to take down this probe, and only now is the Nexus being planted. This is of course steady forward pushing from the Protoss player, but a less aggressive Zerg would not have been able to prevent this, would not have even have tried. And here we see him again poking, always keeping Mana on the defensive. Now Mana deploying his first hallucinated Phoenix. That's of course only for scouting purposes, but scouting is vital indeed, especially when you can't move out of your base. Here we see now Roach Warren being planted, and gas again now being harvested for Mondragon. And I would suspect that whenever this siege is definitely stopped for Mondragon, which has yet to happen, he's still very active with it, he will expand like crazy, because this is definitely holding Mana back once again, only now getting a cannon up, and still he doesn't feel safe. A second cannon. Again, a more defensive Zerg player, he would not have bothered with this, and by now the Protoss would have had a fully harvested, fully saturated mineral line right here. This is a stellar play from Mondragon, who's of course less practiced than mouzMana, perhaps, at least at the point in time when this game took place, but he compensates for that with tactics and the sort of strategic mindset that he is superior with. And I know for many newcomers to the scene, you may wonder, who is this Mondragon? Why is he getting so much press? Well, he is a baller and a scholar of StarCraft, truly. Definitely he was one of the Brood War legends. He led one of the most famous foreign clans, Templars of Twilight, TOT, nowadays disbanded. Now we see Lair on the way, and Macro Hatch being fully deployed, taking down these rocks, and reinforcing here his expansion with spine crawlers, which can of course be moved up here should he want to expand further, which I'm sure he does. And he is truly one of the legends of old, and now he's getting really into StarCraft 2, and that is very exciting, not just because he's got so much strategic talent, now Twilight Council going down for Mana, but more so because he will be able to influence the scene both as a player and as a, well, what shall we say, it's a person with gravity. He can influence things both metagame wise and when it comes to furthering esports in many ways. He has the credentials and he has the personal qualities that enables that. So if Mondragon gets into StarCraft 2, and by the time you finish watching this game, I'm sure you will agree, things will be even better for the sport. And yeah, I'm very happy to see that the old Brood War legend is back. Now we see Evolution Chamber being planted and Spire on the way. Blink now being upgraded, as well as a robotics facility just having been planted by our Polish Protoss player Mana, who again took silver at DreamHack Winter, and I'm sure he'll be back here in summer to defend that title, perhaps even take gold. And of course I will be there at DreamHack doing the Swedish casting for Swedish television, and that will be very exciting. If you manage to come to the event, do come up and say hi, and we can high-five, maybe even on stage. And now we see Roach upgrades as well as melee upgrades, interestingly. Seems like he is not foregoing Zerglings and perhaps even Ultralisks later in the game. So Mondragon, thinking ahead, has yet to plant any further... oh, sorry, here he just planted a third base, second expansion. And he will defend that by being aggressive. But now we see quite a ferocious force. He's building 6 Mutalisk Mondragon, but these Stalkers, they are definitely a powerful force this early in the game, and this expansion that's just constructing right now is definitely vulnerable, and he will be able to cancel that, force it to cancel at the very least. So what will Mondragon do? He's got 48 Zerglings, and they will be able to do a pincer attack. See here from the north how they're approaching, and there will be a beautiful choke. Mana goes straight into the trap, and these Stalkers, of course, they do have Blink, but the cooldown, he must use it very carefully. Again, he has cornered himself, losing lots of Stalkers needlessly. It seems like the Zerglings might go down here, but their reinforcements arrive. Mana has been fooled. Mana, yes, he took down the expansion, but he lost all capability of being aggressive right now. Looking again at the unit tab, only 9 Stalkers, 5 Sentries and 5 Zealots, but he must keep them here because this passage, is this the tasteless secret hallway? I can't remember which one. This will enable Mondragon to be very aggressive, and now we see an observer being pumped out. Mondragon, however, chooses to use this advantage, this victory, to expand once again, or should I say twice. He will be able to take the gold momentarily, and I'm sure he will move up his spine crawlers when he chooses to do so, being almost done with flyer attacks level 1, whereas Mana is on the way to level 2 for his own ground forces, now going for a robotics bay. Meanwhile, we see a Bane Lingu nest going down for Mondragon, getting overseers as well. He wants to be able to snipe those observers for sure. You never know when a Protoss will launch Dark Templars. Whenever they're behind, those pesky Dark Templars arrive. But here we see another attack, and again the Stalkers, lucky blink there, because without that he would have lost so many. And again he's losing many forces. These Mutalisks can easily harass the Stalkers when there are Zerglings on the ground. Now he should retreat, probably. They'll retreat, Mondragon. There we go, somewhat late perhaps, but still, he forced the Protoss back. Sure, the rocks went down, but he lost many Stalkers and a lot of momentum. This expansion, and even this one, when Mondragon chooses to plant it, is completely safe for the moment. And I just love seeing this. This is how Zerg should be played, and this is again by a player who is in StarCraft 2 terms not the one most practiced. Baneling speed now going up, but he just knows the style, he knows the philosophy. Expanding once again, I love this. This is beautiful. He's definitely be able to counteract the superior destructibility of the Protoss army by beautiful creep spread, and the fact that he is being so aggressive that he's forcing the Protoss play to be defensive. Sure, when the 200-200 Protoss Death Ball arrives, and that is not for some time, only got 124 supply, any Zerg player will fear it, sure, but as of yet that Mondragon is being able to out-expand and completely pin the Protoss player back, who's now going for psi-storm. He's going tech all over the place. Infestation pit going down for Mondragon. This defensive play by the Protoss player will harm him, because when Mondragon is on 5 or 6 bases, sure, a Death Ball is very fearsome, but Mondragon will have all the tech and all the income, now constructing his hatchery momentarily. This is beautiful. This is how you must combat a Protoss, especially if you think that he's got superior mechanics to you. You must be tricksy, you must pin him back, you must use your advantage in terms of sneaky harassment and speed. Now we see that Kadarin Amulet going down. That upgrade is of course no longer in the game. It enables Templars to spawn with more energy and being able to psi-storm right away. Now the Spinecrawler army is being moved up to defend, so now he's choosing not to defend perhaps this most vulnerable choke, but rather the entryway to his whole base complex. And these Mutalisks, the whole 20 of them, will be able to cause some major hurt. And you see here how mouzMana is forced to position his Stalker army right here in order to defend this threat. He wants to be active, wants to prevent this base, which is completely undefended, from going down. And Zergling's now checking that there are no shenanigans. Proxy pylons with DT warpins would of course enable Mana to get back into this game very quickly. But only now is he starting to probe out in what should be his domain. Mondragon is schooling Mana, who's by no means out of the game for sure, but he's forcing Mana to stay on 2 bases, which is effectively 1 mining base. Well, he's got 4 mining bases up. As soon as this gets saturated, 4 fully mining bases. This is not supposed to happen, and here we see an unguarded Nexus forcing to be cancelled again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is beautiful play by our German Zerg King legend Mondragon. Now he's moving out with his forces, which of course leaves him susceptible to Mutalisk attack. Again, this is beautiful. These few Stalkers will have nothing to say about this, and Mondragon has free reign over his base. He's forced to retreat his army from the gold expansion, which again leaves him susceptible for further attack. And you see how diligent it is with his overseer here, dropping changelings, doing everything he can. And here we see again Zerglings moving in, however they're being pushed back this time, but forcing the probes to at least be mindful of it. And this expansion is so late. Mondragon could even take this place, and I'm sure he will eventually. taking a look here, another, sorry ladies and gentlemen, another macro hatchery and another one going down for Mondragon. He wants to pump out those Zerglings like there is no tomorrow. Going for range upgrade, armor upgrade, the pathogen glands, and indeed the high, which is about to be completed momentarily. And here we again see the power of the swarm, and it's used to its fullest ability. Here we see a clash going down, and psi-storm, a pincer attack, so many psi-storms, it's just beautiful. But somehow the roach army is still alive. This is well, it's deplorable for Mana how this could ever happen. Mondragon being able to just have the unit composition. You see here 195 maxing again. He lost so many Zerglings in that combat, but again being able to just remax instantly. And this expansion is as good as dead when these reinforcements arrive, as they're doing right now. What can Mana do? He is forced to let this base go, and the banelings are exploding all over the probes. This is stellar play. I just love to see that happen. That is what we call connection. And meanwhile, the Mutalisks with an Overseer on the way. He wants that for Contaminate and for spotting observers, because whenever you can snipe an observer, you can have map control essentially, and mouzMana is forced to GG. Indeed, he was schooled by a better player, even though that player was perhaps not as practiced. I hope you enjoyed this game, hope you enjoyed this pincer attack, and I hope you learn to appreciate Mondragon for the legend that he is. Look out for him in StarCraft 2 in the future, and tomorrow there will be yet another special. I will have a co-caster on the show with me, and we'll be giving you a very exclusive and very epic Mondragon game, and I know you will like that. So thanks for watching. I'm Sebastian Sjöberg, and this has been the GGvision StarCraft 2 Colosseum. GG for now.
Adjutant online.